Miren. Qué buena está la cosa, ¿no?
Tonight, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky returning to the White House for his pivotal meeting tomorrow with President Trump. Zelensky, the White House, still trying to mediate an end to Russia's war. After Trump's stately fanfare and sit-down with Putin Friday, his negotiators largely tight-lipped about the details.
Can you name one thing that President Trump is asking Russia to give up in order to get peace?
Well, I'm not going to disclose those things.
Secretary Rubio also pushing back on suggestions at the White House while trying to pressure Zelensky to cede some land.
No one's pushing Ukraine to give that up.
But shortly after that interview, Trump contradicting that. Reposting on Truth Social, one user statement, Ukraine must be willing to lose.
Signed by the Russians that Putin is willing to do it.
Están deliciosos los egg rolls.
Von Hill, you're live for us at the White House tonight. Thank you. Overseas, the people of Ukraine holding out hope tonight that peace could finally come to their country. Our Richard Engel reports from Kharkiv.
Tonight, President Zelensky said he still wants a ceasefire with Russia to stop the killing while a final deal is worked out.
Putin has many demands, but we do not know all of them. And if there are really as many as we heard, then it will take time to go through them all.
Zelensky spoke before heading back to Washington for the first time since February. And this time, he's got backup. Zelensky is clearly hoping to avoid the embarrassment of his last visit when he was overtalked and ultimately kicked out of the White House. But what's at stake for Ukraine goes far beyond protocol and pride. Russia occupies 20% of Ukraine, and President Putin has said all of that territory and more is his price for a deal. Ukrainians find that outrageous and believe that Putin should get nothing of what he's taken by force, and that Ukraine must have security guarantees from the West so that Russia won't invade again. Ivana Skiba is a journalist in Kharkiv. What are you hoping will come out of this meeting between Zelensky and Trump?
My hope is that Western world or democratic world still exists.
Está canijo con Putin.
We still have common values, common dignity. If we give up land, this war will continue.
As President Zelensky gets back to Washington, Ukrainians will be watching how he
That's cool.
proceeds. Will he get a red carpet or another cold shoulder? And will President Trump pressure him to accept Putin's demands for land? Allie?
Richard Engel in Ukraine, thank you. Also tonight, we're learning more about two American tourists who died within just a few hours of each other at a brand new resort destination.
Ahí está la sopita vietnamita. La sopita pho.
The Royal Bahamas police say the two Americans
Bien deliciosa.
in their 70s died within hours of each other at this
Te lo voy a preparar.
destination called Celebration
Tengo esta
Key.
cosa, esa cool.
Investigators are describing both events as drowning incidents. First, police say they find a warning that a 79-year-old man became unresponsive while snorkeling at a beach. Then that afternoon, investigators say a 74-year-old woman who sailed on a different ship became unresponsive while swimming in a pool. Both times a lifeguard gave assistance and CPR was administered. Those warm waters could restrain
Aquí la voy a poner. Ahí está. Voy a poner aquí 4 minutos. Ya vamos a estar. Para que se agarre bien esta cosa. Yo también tomo mi agua porque me gusta tomar pura agua cuando como fuego. Está buena la cosa. ¿Sí? Los condimentos, cuchara y chopsticks. Sí. Y aquí nomás para que vean, aquí tengo mi mesita. Yo en vez aquí me siento aquí como mi comida, y veo la televisión ahí y le hago así, bien relajado, bien tranquilo, vamos para que vean, Ahí está, miren.
Steve Patterson, NBC News, Los Angeles.
A new twist now in the strike against Air Canada, with the union representing 10,000 flight attendants refusing the Canadian government's order to return to work. That strike affecting thousands of passengers, with hundreds of flights canceled over the weekend, and it's having a ripple effect on airports around the world. We are following protests erupting in Israel tonight. Hundreds of thousands of Israelis flooding the streets and blocking major highways today. Some of the biggest anti-war protests in months as Israel's military prepares to seize Gaza City. Those demonstrations are to protest the war in Gaza and demand a hostage deal for Israelis still in Hamas captivity. When we come back, there is good news tonight about the recipe that makes this dinner party
Está calientita.
sweet. There is good news tonight about the power of good food, a good story, and especially good company. Here in rural Maine, the real action's not the countryside, but inside. Along with something to eat, you bring something to share.
¿Cómo la ven?
Learn to make everything out of nothing.
Ya tiene todo ahí. Tiene limón, tiene todo. Todo.
Portsmouth, England. The idea? To connect by sharing stories with strangers.
30 years later, I still remember the feeling. And we were flying rather than sailing.
People naturally connect over food. Food is something we all have in common. Carl Schatz and Margaret Hathaway run these story-sharing suppers through their nonprofit Community Plate. Here's what people left as friends. I think 8 million people's names in my contact.
¿A poco no se antoja?
From mismatched dinnerware to food-themed icebreakers and a little something
Yo sé que se
extra
antoja.
sweet for
Yo sé que se
dessert.
antoja.
More than 30 suppers
Ahora.
later, this recipe seems to be working. Well, our goal is, let's make it pop up like that.
La salsa de hoisin. Hoisin sauce.
Turning strangers into friends. Every culture has
No es para que se te antoje, Socorro.
to share food with strangers and neighbors. It's seeing the humanity of somebody else. So an evening like tonight,
Para que se te
where
antoje.
a group of people who don't know each other are willing to come together to
Esto sí que
share
está
food,
bueno.
break bread, and share who they are.
La sopita vietnamita deliciosa. Basura.
And a good reminder, we all have something to share. That's Nightly News for this Sunday. Tom will be back tomorrow. I'm Hallie Jackson. For all of us here at NBC, thanks for watching and have a great week.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news.
Vamos a probar poquito. Me gustó mucho la sopa. Los noodles están buenísimos. Sopita vietnamita. Muy buena. Este es res. Salsa de hoisin. Un poquito más. Ya déjenme agrego esto. Para que esté un poquito más picoso.
European and NATO leaders are now set to join President Zelensky for a face-to-face meeting with President Trump at the White House tomorrow. The Trump administration now saying both sides need to make concessions to end the war in Ukraine. All this just days after that historic meeting in Alaska between the U.S. and Russia led to no agreement
Así me como yo mi fuego. Bien delicioso.
Covering this conflict for nearly 4 years. With the soft night from Ukraine.
Tonight, in the show, of course, European and NATO leaders announcing that they'll be by Ukrainian President Zelensky's side at tomorrow's meeting with President Trump.
Our position is clear. International borders cannot be changed by force. These are decisions to be made by Ukraine.
Who is in the talks, saying the United States got Russia to agree that if Ukraine is attacked again, the US could defend it.
We were able to win the following concession, that the United States could offer Article 5-like protection, which is one of the real reasons why Ukraine wants to be in NATO.
But Secretary of State Marco Rubio telling ABC News that a peace agreement is still far off.
You can't have a peace agreement unless both sides make concessions. If not, it's just called surrender, and neither side is going to surrender. So both sides are going to have to make concessions.
Rachel, tomorrow's meeting is critical for Ukraine. European leaders rallying to protect Ukraine's Zelensky and have to persuade President Trump to toughen his position on Russia. Rachel?
All right, Ian, thank you.
When the unexpected happens, we're here. Northern Nevada Health System's 3 freestanding ERs provide 24/7 emergency med.
And so let's bring in ABC's Alex Shea, who was at the White House where that meeting will be tomorrow. Alex, all of this came together very quickly.
That's right, Rachel. It came together incredibly quickly. President Trump.
Strong wind, heavy rain, and flash flooding taking aim at the Midwest tonight. From Iowa to Minnesota and Wisconsin, powerful storms downing trees and power lines. More rain in Milwaukee as they continue to recover from historic flooding just a week ago. That system, the back end of a front keeping a strengthening Hurricane Aaron away from the East Coast. Aaron, now a Category 3, slow-moving storm inching forward in the Atlantic. Hurricane hunters capturing this as it brushed past the Caribbean. This drone video out of Puerto Rico shows massive waves pounding the shoreline even as the hurricane is downgraded from an intense Category 5 to a Cat 3. North Carolina declaring a state of emergency for Dare County and a mandatory evacuation of Hatteras Island. The first major storm in the Atlantic bringing dangerous surf from Florida to Maine, waves up to 12 feet expected in some places. And with recent drownings along the East Coast, lifeguards are already on alert. In St. Augustine, Florida, strong tidal currents sweeping a swimmer nearly 3/4 of a mile offshore, forcing first responders into a dramatic rescue. And in New Hampshire, more than 140 people were rescued last week as a far weaker storm caused rough waves and choppy seas.
And Danny joins us now. Danny, you're also tracking Hurricane Aaron gaining strength across the Atlantic tonight.
Yeah, we're starting with Aaron, still a major Category 3 hurricane, Rachel, with max sustained wind holding steady at 125 miles per hour, but re-strengthening is expected as the track turns north. Tropical storm warnings in effect.
Danny, thank you. We turn now to a terrifying scene in New York. 3 people are dead and 9 others injured. Police say it appears that several people fired shots inside a crowded restaurant overnight. Dozens of shell casings were recovered at the scene. Police are now searching for the suspects. Here's ABC's Olivia Rubin.
An urgent manhunt tonight for multiple suspects police say opened fire in a Brooklyn restaurant, killing 3 and injuring 9 others. Police swarming Taste of the City Lounge around 3 a.m. nearby and dozens of shell casings inside that lounge.
Our job now is to determine who is responsible and to hold them accountable.
Today's incident comes amid a record low in gun violence. The NYPD saying there were 264 shootings and 112 murders from January to May of this year, the lowest ever recorded for that period.
Thankfully tonight, officials say those 9 injured victims are being treated in the hospital, all of them with non-life-threatening injuries. Rachel.
Olivia, thank you. Next tonight, more National Guard troops are heading to Washington, D.C. West Virginia is expected to send troops soon. 2 other Republican-led states, Ohio and South Carolina, may join them. It comes as President Trump is cracking down on crime in the city, deploying 800 National Guard troops to the nation's capital. But city leaders and others are now pushing back. Here's ABC's Noel Lange.
Tonight, a significant escalation on the streets of the nation's capital. 350 more citizen soldiers expected to arrive from West Virginia in the coming days, bringing the number of National Guard members to 1,126. On the streets today, mixed sentiment about the mission.
I think it's pretty ridiculous, honestly. I think it's good. I feel safe.
Two other Republican-led states, Ohio and South Carolina, also offering to send troops. Democrats calling it a manufactured crisis.
Crime in D.C. is at a 30-year low and a downward trajectory. So this is all an opportunity for Donald Trump to play dictator in Washington, D.C.
And this weekend, hundreds taking to the streets to protest. Some residents shouting at officers, making stops. Federal marshals, members of the ATF, as well as us.
Ahora quiero que vean cómo dejé el plato. Lo dejé bien vacío. Porque me gustó esa comida, está bien deliciosa. Es uno del mejor fuego que hay aquí. Se llama E.G. Pokedon. Allá en junto de South Reno, del sur de Reno. Está muy buena. Entonces, un saludo para toda la gente que vio este video. Un saludo para Socorro Ramos. Saludos, Socorro. Un saludo para ella. Y también un saludo para toda la gente que vio este video. Ahí nos miramos. Hasta el próximo video. Gracias y adiós.